Итак, всем привет, мы продолжаем играть в диско Elysium. Короче, как я понял, тут невозможно выбить результат хороший.
How have I?
Can't write a scene without knowing that I don't want to.
Ну, видимо, так.
I don't want to do that. Force yourself. Slap yourself.
Ой, ну не знаю, что тут.
Do what?
Officer,
Too late. You ruined it. Just.
Excuse me? What? What?
She's in pain. She's in so much pain. And
we are very sorry to inform you, but your husband, Victor Méjean, was...
Oh. Oh. But he was just...
he was just here.
I understand that this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me...
What happened to him? Tell me. And you just found him there? How long had he been there?
Вы сейчас вспомните. А там было сказано, сколько он там лежал? Блин, я не помню. Несколько дней было? Но от него пахло, по-моему, уже, да?
She doesn't reply. You hear the clock ticking in the...
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like unreal.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home? All right. I'll call them. Just tell me, what do I need to do?
For God's sake, lie.
Так. Он в морге, я не помню. Ну, вроде сообщили о нем, да? 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 Нет? Да? Нет? Я не помню.
And
He was taken to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Is there anything else that...
no, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still a bit... a brain condition.
Yes, you're a total fucking horror show.
Yes, that's what happened.
Apologies. My partner did not mean to make light of the situation. Again, if there's anything we could do...
She just nods, distant and These are her last reserves.
I'll take it from here. Thank you.
We should step outside and talk.
Ну, вышло не очень. От того, что эмпатия отказала.
So...
He's avoiding your gaze. This is the time to say how sorry you are about how things went.
It's all right. Don't worry. I'll call the station when we're finished with the day and let them know the name of the deceased. There's not much we can do for them anymore. That's it. We should get back to our case. There's nothing more we can do here. And, officer, I've seen worse. This wasn't the worst I've seen, okay? Now let's go.
Let's go. Ай, так, ну пойдемте посмотрим квартиру этого.
This door is made of metal and no one answers.
Let's go. There's nothing to do here for...
Да, его дома нет. Ух ты ж. Так. Риэлтор исчез этот.
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman.
Оп,
Some
еще
lunatic lost
вопрос.
his mind.
With how small these rooms are, wouldn't...
The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume.
She really doesn't like those nut. She mumbles some kind.
Так, мне надо переодеться, да? Забыл. Да, натянуть обратно этот свой. И очки поменять.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Так, куда идем, куда идем? Идем в деревню, да, наверное? Так, ты.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Здесь его дать тебе денег? Ну как? Я ничего... А, нет, есть что-то на риторику, охереть. Не ожидал. Больше вроде бы ничего нет. Ну да.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
No need to dress this one up. Just tell.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? Ah, yes.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe?
Sorry, detective.
Давайте еще одну
Everything's
попытку.
still cool here, officer.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there.
Oh, okay.
After all this mess, the broken seals,
An investment? What kind of investment?
a bold move.
Officer?
It feels good.
Okay, officer. I can't leave a man in need like that.
Million.
Officer, do I look like I... All right. This should help you get back on your feet.
Я не помню, он все-таки этот один из торговцев этим наркотиками или что? Ну, перевозчиков, по-моему. Или нет? А то мне как-то стыдно будет, что я у него денег сейчас попросил. Ага. Готово. Что готово? Ой, у меня так много заданий сделано, оказывается. А почему отмена? А, типа это... Типа ботинки-то я не собрал, на. Эх. Это задание я уж точно получил не раньше. Короче, когда дойдем с этой вот к Джойс, тогда у нее и узнаем. Так, спойте под караоке, откройте дверь, скажите врагу, окей. Ага. Ой, надо точно к Лосье еще сходить снова, да? Немножко, конечно, стыдно, что я взял у него деньги, но да ладно.
Shine on these sunglasses lasts
чё?
a lot.
Может быть, я у него что-нибудь куплю еще. Вот это вот, например.
The speakers
Возможно, мне
below
колонку
are banged
попросят
up and
по
work.
квесту, типа. Для этого, для клуба, все-таки она у них одна. Но они тут какие-то маленькие, конечно, ну ладно. Раз уж они служат подставкой для этого. Так, теперь что, в поисках этой лодки ее, да? Она где-то в порту, наверное, должна стоять. Да, она в деревню уехала. Вот тут вот, может. Да, да. Вот это яхта.
I'll just keep the corda lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too... Hi, ma'am. And it's a jetty, of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to appear any day. Jetty.
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Oh, jetty, oh, jet. It's good to see you here, detectives.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to...
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your program. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate. How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Etonite. The jetty below her, the smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the... I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Don't...
Fortunately for you, madame.
All right. Politics time. Let's react.
Время политики.
Maybe.
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus cloud. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Where
Have I told you how they discovered this place? No. They're in Sealindian, Isola. I'm guessing you don't know then. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation. It's a pity. Most of these people will never know what this place means. This island. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. Maybe there is something else I can assist you with, while you're hot in pursuit? By love, you did.
she is memorizing.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
How about you share your information on the lynching, now that you've seen his badge?
The goalposts have moved, Lieutenant. In the absence of the badge, I have informed my employer there will... I cannot rescind that promise. To my knowledge, the drivers are still at the roundabout. I will tell
Если
you
бы я
everything
сразу
I know
принес.
when
Его
you
бы там
finish
не
with
было
them.
просто.
My plan is to share information. The only way to do that now is by telling my employers you've kept your end.
Meaning, the information she... How bad can it...
The sooner the probe is finished, the sooner I can share crucial information with you. Word has traveled, yes, but nothing of real substance has surfaced yet, I gather.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout. It would give them a read on the entire quarter.
It appears we are being monitored every step we take, colleague. Did we have any other business here?
Ага. Понятно.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid better not tie the force. Word has
То есть
traveled.
вообще ничего, да?
It appears we are being monitored every step
Я
we
не
take,
помню.
colleague.
Что-то
Did we
там
have
мне
any other
сказали
business?
сделать надо или нет все-таки?
You're back. Good.
Блин, я забыл. Так. Найдите орудие убийства. Понятно. Я, кстати, не осматривал, по-моему, да и... Где она? А где пуля? А, вот это вот непонятно. Куда пуля подевалась? Вот она. А, ну да.
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic
всё-таки
bag
есть,
bearing the RCM stamp.
Вот что-то
A
новое.
jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle.
Highly unusual. The people of Revachol haven't carried
Even the RCM uses ordinary and jacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this,
Есть
officer.
похожие винтовки, я
Strange
знаком
means
название.
unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find...
a rifle.
Хорошо.
Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old... The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belma
То есть,
grade
который мы
rifle,
нашли, да?
a Revacholian manufacturer. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial... No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing.
What are you thinking? Bullet? Okay. And? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez. Sure, there's some arms
По-моему,
trafficking,
объясняли уже.
but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with...
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. But back to the investigation.
Любитель антиквариата, иностранный партизан.
Let's find out. Next step, finding the gun itself.
Понятно. Я забыл просто про пулю, которая стреляет пулями калибра 4,46.
Waves are beginning.
Why does she care about the
Ой,
waves so
что-то новое.
much?
What is it with waves and fishermen? But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, what will it be, officer?
Так. Так. Ну-ка. Новый разговор.
Our tenant,
Ah,
the
да.
policeman. Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately. This is my little cinder block town.
She's being evasive.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might...
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. No, it's not like that, man. We've hit.
Enough of this. She better start talking right now.
There's not much to tell.
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind.
Я
if we
хочу на
look
нее
around.
надавливать, просто потому что она
You
мне дом
should look
дала.
around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to...
Посмотреть хижину, окей. О, это еще надо спросить, но я забыл. Так, опа, во, под половицами как раз таки.
As you look
До
at
этого
the
уже давно
floorboards
говорила.
in this corner
Уделяет.
of the shack, the edge of a floorboard next to it looks... Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and salt. Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reed. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber. The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is.
Окей.
Our tenant, the policeman. Damn that girl.
A bullet? You didn't put it there.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good... Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry.
That's for the police to find out. Right then. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of her. She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent. She tried not to let it show. But I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast, yes, early.
She probably heard the Lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No,
The truth, sire.
how would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun. I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door.
It's a peninsula.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Yes, it's going to be too much work for you to find her. Better for you to
The felled electric neuron. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
Мурал Felt Electric, что это?
What more do you want to know about? Yes, let's
Всё,
one
пока.
thing. She's a good girl.
Я забыл о том, что мне надо жителей деревни поспрашивать так-то.
The waves are beginning to die. Oh? Who? Okay. When did this person stay? Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been... Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Well, how can I assist you?
Понятно. Так, ну с детьми поговорим еще что.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the...
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means.
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is gonna crack the case.
Понятно. Так, давай с тебя начнем.
Uncle.
Он, правда, ничего
Yes.
не ответит, да. Понятно.
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes. Pissable.
Tequila sunset. Can't really remember seeing any women after
It's a touchy topic. He hasn't got laid in ages. He really has no idea who this Ruby is.
Понятно. Пойдемте еще с той 5-летней девочкой поговорим. Так, оп. Так, оп. Продолжаем, да? Давайте спросим у 5-летней девочки еще, да? Вроде бы или
Hello,
сколько ей там?
mister.
Или ей тоже 4, да?
No, Luby. My mom tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that I can't say Earl. Or like, sometimes I can, but then...
Kids.
Bye!
Понятно. Стоп, а это дом на 4 человек? А, ну вот, 2 кровати. Видимо, где-то это 2 спят. И вот диван, ну ясно. Ну жить можно, да. Что сказать. Так, я туда не бегал. Ага. Помните, я тут был, где-то... Опа, люди. Где-то тут должны быть еще документы этой. Что скажете?
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a...
Nice to meet you.
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have... Yes, hypertext, young carp, and the collection of cultural hyperlink.
He's just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything.
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms
много
when there are
слов.
so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the coalition landed in 08.
Зачем ему
We could
знать
be
это? Он
standing on what
выглядит,
is
как
the
будто ему
most
лет
interesting
8
landmark in
по
Revachol
росту.
West.
Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from...
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical, and Felt, which now sells ink cartridges most...
Hold on. What's R&D?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with
Не
RTD,
хватило одной.
research and technological.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
Это из-за того, что у меня энциклопедия на низком уровне, или так и должно было быть, если бы даже у меня энциклопедия была 20? Ладно.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the...
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the... Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were... It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed an elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionized, which is a feat of engineering, even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved. Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D. Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Doms? He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? And who the hell are... This is all ninsy-pinsy garbage for sissy people.
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to... In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionary setting fire to the... Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the felt plate. Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building. They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Decret de Mars. What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on this...
A short-lived legislative foundation.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans ce Lind. You should read it. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book. Already...
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail.
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
Tape computers. Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel,
Если
but
отец
that
не
got
хочет об этом
destroyed in the
рассказывать
war.
пока что.
A pleasure wheel?
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinaise was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. But of course, what else? Sure, what's
Так,
not, but
про
of
деньги я не
course,
хочу у него
what else?
спрашивать. Я и так богатый, достаточно.
No, I'm afraid I
700
can't
реалов,
help
конечно,
you
не
with this one,
жаль.
officer.
So you haven't seen...
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a...
He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone.
No, thanks to you for having me in, little Mikhail here.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one.
Да. Так, ну это мы
You
уже
see,
успели.
a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking
Спрашивайте о рубе в
and will
деревне?
soon also Feld Electrical. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that there's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to... Indeed, somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin. You felt it before, when it rained in Martinique.
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there. Or...
Why single out this one building?
Слушать ветер, ну-ка ща. Чё тут? Тут еще изучается всякое. Центр телебом. Ладно. Мне нужен трепет. Трепет, да? Ой, я забыл переодеть это, да. Галстук, вот этот вот шарф, который херня такая, конечно. Давал бы он плюс 2 трепета, это было бы нормально. Но он дает при этом плюс 1 и минус 2 силы. Как так, а? Так, это все, что у меня есть на трепет, да? Ну ладно.
The once bright mural towers above you. Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds, trying to talk to the wind. The city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your...
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the... She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We've already talked to the cryptozoologists, and then there's the church. If I were a murder suspect, I would not hide in the most prominent building.
Or spiritual?
Ладно, в
She could
церковь
be
нам
looking
все
for
равно надо
refuge.
зайти.
Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again.
Могу снова поговорить с ветром.
The once
Давай, еще
bright
раз
mural
успешно.
towers a breeze,
Блин, не удалось
like a
поговорить
quiet
с ветром.
sigh. Move. Go to the children of the big sea. The wind rushes away, leaving you where you were. On the rock.
Сработайте с
Officer,
детьми
are you
большого
okay?
К.
It looked like we lost you for a second. Doesn't look like it to me. Probably not, anyway. When you're ready.
Что это появилось? То есть мне надо ошибиться было или нет? Ну-ка, сейчас еще раз.
The
Посмотрим.
once bright mural. Suddenly, there's a sigh,
Да, теперь
carried on
успешно.
the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high in through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust.
She's down there.
Под
Okay.
этим зданием?
Why? Good, good, yes. Cold spells. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there? So, how do we get in there?
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds up.
Да, пожалуй, грубая сила мне больше нравится. Тут еще вот канава какая-то.
A rusty ladder leads to the...
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use them. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're...
Естественно.
Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. What if you were to reconceptualize? Yeah, because falling from that height seems, well, splat.
Teleportation is not a thing. This really has nothing to do with adventure. Oh yes, it could hurt a lot.
Телепортироваться на крышу. Не думаю, что получится. Так, должен быть силовой подход, да, мне сказали. Ну-ка, вот канава, так, сейчас посмотрим. Что это у нас?
An old pipe peeks out from beneath. A building like this must have multiple doors, serving Your eyes slowly begin to adjust. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder. A thin layer of snow gleams inside. As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts, and nothing. Broken glass from bottles.
Given that this isn't martial arts, however, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement, and it's right here, a maintenance door.
Ага. Блин, не полные проценты, ну ладно.
The metal doors are heavy,
8%
and the
целых не
flaking
хватало,
rust
ошибка могла быть.
hurts your palms. But together with the lieutenant, you manage to slide.
Good work. Shall we?
Сразу прям так войти. Помешало бы достать фонарик, да вроде все и так видно. Ладно, так уж и быть. Давайте обратно, кстати, приоденемся, ага. Так, что у меня бабочка была? Все. Ой. Обратно меня, пожалуйста. Там что-то еще валялось. Я почему-то думал, что это осмотреть завал. Опа. Пиджак на внушение, неплохо.
This isn't just glass. These are old computation. Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass. The how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was the why is easy, because they hadn't come up with modern silicon-based systems yet. For vitreous cast film.
So it is. I think it is used to form a single system, slotted in the wall. The rest of the building seems to have been picked clean. These? No. These are old filament memories. I hope you're not expecting to find a device.
Понятно. Одно очко навыков есть. Есть ли что-то, что я еще хочу забыть? Если что, забудем вот это вот. Способы косвенного налогообложения. Так как я думал из себя строить моралиста, а не ультралиберала. Так, что тут у нас? Оп, неплохо. Я мог сюда и не зайти, да? +1 к социал-экономическому мазовизму. Шапка революционера.
This hat is so soft, so warm. It wraps around your head, and your mind tingles. With Kraz Mazov would have worn this, Yushenka. Mazov knew glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not.
Коммунистичности. Коммунист, 9. Понятно. Давай мне шапку обратно. Дружелюбный сосед коммунар. Понятно. Там окно есть. Не помню,
A
что я
mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, "Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair matched. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand. Grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits."
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago. Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but we have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers. I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff. You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Понятно.
A mustachioed and
Следы. Сейчас посмотрим. Становится шумно.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp.
No. What do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were. Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild...
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
Definitely. I think she knows something about the mercenaries, maybe. Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we?
If you can't predict it, there's nothing...
You mean Morel? I don't see how cryptozoology and the murder investigation...
If it gets that tense, the amateur zoologists might not be able to do their job.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the...
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaky.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deep...
Я не хочу медленно двигаться, если что, поэтому я дальше буду бегать. Конная труба. Опа, полярная куртка. Плюс самообладание и трепет. Неплохо. Прикольно. Ладно. Прям под наряд революционера. С этой ушанкой. Ага, кто-то стоит.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I would...
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds nobody. That's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse.
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your part... A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations.
So, what we are experiencing is
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's at the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
The pale? It's the end of the world. Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell in... Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine. I built it myself.
Самому по ушам больно уже.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented, but we are beyond that.
Oh yeah, way beyond. No, once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few... If you've got something really important to say...
Turn this...
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a two-barreled front loader. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this.
Уничтожить прибор. Кстати, возможно.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised. So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back. This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of... I heard you in the passages. And so you found I was. Before I caught you in the Pale Latitude. No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching. Though who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh. Well, I guess I owe... But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Выглядит они, конечно, не очень, да?
Oh, fuck. Took some convincing my ass. How the fuck did the rest of you get by? I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same. Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
Надеюсь, я смогу сломать эту херню все еще.
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
Еще миллион вопросов.
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do. You think I was envious of his conquests?
See her confident gaze, her toned arms. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. I'm listening. Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you. You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time. Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain. Don't know it, but also, the shot couldn't have come from the roof.
She has a point
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something.
Man, I was with the... You mean the length of a toilet break? Look, fuck you, man.
She speaketh truth.
Wow. Now I'm... No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Why? Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the suzerain. I'm not really interested in supernatural mysteries. The fuck to elevators? Not particularly. I'm not really into old shit.
God damn it!
So you know she's not an antiques enthusiast. Not my jurisdiction, man. But it ought...
No. Why?
Еще раз.
Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the suzerain. Not murder mysteries either.
She looks you in the eye, impassively.
The fuck to Not particularly. Why are you...
That's a pretty good question, actually. She clearly doesn't know anything about the secret passage.
And that topic was what? I'm listening. And? The gun store. Trigger Happy Jacks. What did you think? That I'm going to squeal in the gun store? Trigger Happy Jacks. What did you think? That I'm going to squeal in Sure don't.
A breach loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
A knocked way AD front loader.
That isn't it.
Never really got into weapons trafficking. Especially not old weapons. They break too often, and you don't... Yeah. Evidence. I considered her a good friend, yeah. What the hell, man? Yeah, why not? I've gotten worse. Wow. Pissing, pinball, and now peeping. I'm just not following your insinuations, Detective. Look, I'm not aware of any hole in Claudia's wall. And if I had been, Nope. Look, she has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi, that for the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not. Oh, so that's where you were going with it. That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up
The
with.
lieutenant watches her.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know.
Clausia only said they maybe kissed. Someone is lying here.
If that's what she wants on the record, so be it. I'm not about to go into details for you to jerk off to later.
Ой. Ой.
Really? Is that blood on the ground before you?
Yeah, really? She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me. And I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on. Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean trip. Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer. Oh, that's a very...
The lieutenant.
Okay, fine.
Clausia only said they maybe kissed.
She does know how to pick 'em. She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused. I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take... Go ahead. Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Clausia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this... It's very powerful. I used it to tune into... The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the
Тоже
main
скажу,
attraction
какой-то
there.
душой польется, конечно, да?
Along with... Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot, no. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style. I never did understand why, when someone dies, so now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on. No, I did not.
Понятно.
Yeah?
More questions before doing anything.
Окей.
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick a...
That strange, distant fear is getting close now.
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human...
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the fucking hell. And why it's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker.
All of this just means that you're effective. Criminal, I don't know. Sounds pretty convincing to me.
Right. Sure. You don't know. Yeah, sure.
She doesn't...
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all. You know what I did. I fucked him over. And now I...
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you.
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet...
Those rings around her eyes. Her tongue.
What is radio?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there. He was still warm. But the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look at...
She eyes you warily.
It's okay. We just want...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hart. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying...
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No.
She looks shaken. She wasn't surprised to be ratted.
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me. how quickly she was able. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck.
По-моему, Харди это тоже говорили, что это она...
Then she dressed him while I went to
Видимо,
get the
уже она
hard.
была.
She lied to you about that, too.
I really don't care which one of us you think was more at fault for the lynching. As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs.
But even if this is true, weren't you...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercy...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not...
Fuck it. I'm not responsible.
Her grip on the gun is tight. Her arms toned. Her posture...
What bunker? Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the...
Решил спросить про бункер.
How should I...
Those
Who hasn't? He was still warm.
She eyes...
All right. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. Oh yeah. Super.
This woman has seen people OD.
She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with...
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No.
She looks...
Yeah.
She lied to you.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire... As I keep telling you cops, we didn't...
But even if this is true, weren't you...
War?
She doesn't... Her grip on the gun is tight. Her arms toned.
Так, ну-ка,
Her
подожди.
posture solid. She
Еще
eyes...
раз.
All right, don't kill... She sits down with a drink, trying... She asked me to come upstairs.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What?
She looks...
Yeah. In court,
She lied to you.
Yeah. I wasn't sure... As I keep...
Тот же самый
War?
ответ.
She doesn't...
Fuck.
Her grip on the gun
Так,
is
ну
tight.
все, наконец-то,
Her
да?
arms toned. Her posture solid.
Ёп,
Martinez looks
провалилась?
valiant.
Проверка провалилась?
The
Как так?
violent white noise becomes even more overwhelming closer to the compressor. Feels like your brain is swelling up in your skull.
Что? Болевой порог неудачи. Всего у вас 12 против 10. Угу. Угу. Невозможно проходимая, да? Обязательная неудача, как я понимаю. Видимо, что так. Еще хилка.
The pain intensive.
What are you doing? I...
Да.
Look, I know this isn't very fun for you, so let's wrap this up. You have a tribunal to... Yeah. The mercenaries are about...
How do you know that?
I was listening in on their frequency. And you... Watch out for yourselves. You seem to have a habit of walking into traps. I'm asking myself that right now, too. Anyway, I'm guessing you don't...
A third.
As I said...
The pain is becoming unbearable now.
Ну все, мне делать больше нечего.
I'm listening. Yeah? Where? Glad to have been of assistance.
The woman runs past you and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Ненавижу. А что, она сама решила
All things
прекратиться?
considered, it could have gone worse. No, I don't think she did it. Now we have to come up with a really good excuse for why we walked right into a trap like that. Her tent. Maybe there's some...
Понятно.
Tremble. The time is now. Time for the show. For Taola. The hallowed time of fear and disintegration. A countdown has begun. All will collapse. Ulogu Theodos. Xeno Zausin.
Я только один раз сказала о конце света.
Echondes Fronisin.
Ладно.
Monday morning. The moment you arrived in this reality are the first... Yes, you spoke the words of the Palindropos and the houses of Pericarnassus. Items, people, Even words will tumble. All will lose its meaning in the coming years. That it's totally also a coping mechanism. So you should be. The world island crop, perhaps. Just a thought. This has something to do with the hangover.
Ладно, пожалуй, сила воли вмешалась. Я думал сначала согласиться, но ладно,
Okay,
откажемся.
yes. Maybe it is just the hangover talking.
Так. Ух ты ж. Выхода нет. Скоро рассвет и быстрее здоровья. Все-таки мне дали его установить. О, 8 реалов.
The plain red tent stands by despair. The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled up, it reeks of cigarettes. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More technological data. You pocket the worn brown leather.
We should read this immediately. Like, right.
Окей.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner, Schneller, is a stationery brand from God. She's got good taste and must have taken what the journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been the large cursive of someone who write perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out. With time, it's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Так, ну сначала
That
давай для
name
себя.
isn't meant small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M though. La Puta Madre? M, great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry. Or then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I've been holed up here for 3 days now? I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. Did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. The entry ends abruptly.
Понятно.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor. Sketch short wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. She is referring to betraying her previous employer. Does this suggest the thick journal bound in brown leather? The most recent entry is from today. Even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that.
It looks like she might have been framed. No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be the head of a major Jamrock gang specializing in drug production and trafficking.
He's not 100% sure you're not indebted to this very, very bad person.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than Wida's. Especially if she has... Clasia was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or... Maybe she had an accomplice. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags.
Надо было все-таки посадить ее сразу. Угу. Шестерка лапута мадре, понятно. Так, давайте мы наверх, еще не поднимались. Ой, не сюда. Давай, беги. Они так тихо бегут. Открытка. Мартинес. 98-й год. Угу. Прошлый век. Видимо, да. Понятно. Еще выше. А, вот и крыша. Я понимаю, я отсюда вот так не спущусь, да, все-таки по лесенке. Подняться по ней можно, а вот спуститься нет. Да, по виду она не очень держится, на самом деле, да? Так подумать. Я думал, тут что-нибудь поинтереснее будет. Так, ну эти челы уже ушли. Ой, уже 9 часов. А сколько было, кстати? Было же меньше. Было там час, я не знаю. Или мне кажется. Было же очень мало времени, или нет. Не знаю уже даже. Давайте сюда спустимся. Так, что, позвонить еще раз?
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter call. You dial the number again in the calling. It looks like she doesn't want to pick it up, Harry. Stop scaring her. Come on, you know why. Calling. Underneath it, she is naked and warm under a blanket. Phone hanging. Disconnect tone.
Да ты чё? Еще.
You dial the calling, and calling for who knows how long, but no one answers. You need to insert more. Punch it again. The cold metal is...
That's enough now, officer.
Ладно. Окно бункера. Понятно. Надо бы поспать, да, пойти, я думаю. Я так время просираю, конечно. Я немножко боюсь помереть. Вот так.
Heavy wooden doors. Well, the lock turns easily.
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushes in the heart of the...
Так. Ну и чё, где я, кто я, куда я? Идти, не бежать, да мне плевать, дай побегать. Я должен медленно передвигаться. Да давай, быстрее, чё за...
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All this shifted. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be... And then it's gone. Almost, it seems the sound here is detached from its source. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely... It's unnerving. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even... The lieutenant points to his ears.
Can you hear anything? The church just has...
Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
Could be.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Опа. Чё, где люди-крабы?
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way. Yes, the dark, it's climbing. Climbing, it's not a shadow anymore. Becoming...
Officer, is there something up there?
Oh no. You prepare for an attack.
Махнул. Опа.
You see something
Лист.
hanging from... Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Подожди, у меня
The
мысль завершена.
precarious world. How not to lose? It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers.
Понятно, что это дает? Порог для критического успеха или критической неудачи понижен на 1. Не знаю, что это делает. Херня какая-то, честно говоря. Так. Слышь, чёрт, подожди. Я досмотрю тут это, вещи всякие, что тут есть. Шелковой шарф мискийского гангстера. Понятно. Мою бабочку лучше поношу, в ней +2. Хотя драма не настолько, честно говоря, нужна. Болевой порог, думаю, получше будет. Поэтому я возьму его. Давай, быстрее, что так медленно? Потом что-то есть еще. Давай туда да пойдем уж. Что, надо спускаться? А, понял. Ну давай тогда уж с ним поговорим побыстрее. И уже печально, когда я даже бегать
Is
не
that
могу.
a man? A man made of the same stuff. The crab man. The man leaned forward a little.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in general. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos speaking.
I'm here to receive the mother's love. You can too, Holmes. And
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question?
Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here. Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want...
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here. Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know. No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have...
Or search through her radio computer.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters.
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over?
Sure am. Now I use those same hands in circle.
All right, let's consider the context and meaning here.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need. I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. No, man. You gotta let that shit go. Then,
do you remember your...
Tiago's my name. But those syllables don't mean much to me these days. Your place amongst your fellas. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the... I circled it. Nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I think it was, a long time ago, I had to share it like a skin to get closer to the center of the... Oh, that's no simple question. She is a cavity in the dark, beyond sense.
His adoration is beyond sexual. This cavity is something that no human form has.
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before react. It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service. I heard that before, Way, and I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with her? She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, the mother will eat all
теперь,
of
когда сказали, по-моему, трусила и бросила, не унизился этот боевой дух.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here. Back when. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. I'm a seraph, Holmes. You may be thinking, but I'm a seraph. I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what...
Marietti is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities. Especially the sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending.
Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really, or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mothers love the ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me. Wouldn't bother me none to have them spin music in here. Might even be nice to have some company. The ones in the 10 house? Nah, man. They look pretty funny.
Though he used to, a long time ago.
Why not? They wouldn't. Might even be nice to have the ones in the. Absolutely, man. Might even be nice to have some company.
Так, все, поговорили. Еще одно озарение.
Date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07, in the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires was...
На 2 года больше немножко. Сложность для всех пассивных проверок, физиология -1, логика... Что-то дерьмо какое-то, да? Как по мне. Ким, могу я тебе об этом рассказать? Не могу. Ну, значит, все. Мы забудем, что нам 44 года. Вот и все. Мы об этом никогда не знали. Давай вот это вот. Есть еще одно очко навыков. Ладно, тратиться не будем. Пока что. Матерь тишины, дала бы ты мне побегать. О, вау, тут бегать можно. За кулисами. Плюс 1 эмпатия, красные башмаки. И деньги есть. Прикольно. Мискийского гангстера. Он с себя всю одежду просто сбросил и разделся по максимуму, да? Понятно.
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the...
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on. We should probably let it be. This little foray bears little connection to the case, no? It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect. A model, the Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used.
Оп, так.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. Nothing happens. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar
Good evening. Votre accident en Saint-Brune.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log? I have 2 machines registered to this company.
Saint-Brune. That's the church. And Rue de Saint-Guilain?
Anything else I can help? Good. Please?
Let's look around. Maybe he knows something.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol.
Still, no. I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy.
I'm afraid we are not doing that.
Now, can you please repeat the password received? Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you? Sleep well, votre accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated.
Так, а тут я не могу его вытащить. Жалко. Мог бы еще один, если что, потом продать. А что так? Так, открыть можно, ладно. Я просто пытался скорее бежать. Давай, спросим у него пароля.
Oh, hey, Wade. There's coffee in the back. Too many times, essay. You need it for something. Don't sweat it, Vato. The password is after. What you think of that?
За жизнь и смерть.
Makes me almost pity La Nilita. I think we're done here, essay.
That was, however, I'm still not sure.
Спасибо. еще что-то. А я туда не смогу пойти, да?
The machine's keyboard, the speaker.
Good evening. Good. Good.
Интересно,
I
это от
have
второго
unlocked
такой
the
же пароль?
filament.
От второго
After
терминала.
ending the call, please press print. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Sleep well.
The machine's keyboard. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraph. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place. That the church was... See? Even one of the... What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
I doubt that we can find any. It's just idle. Nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new...
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back, but at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Something about the backup data getting destroyed. And how everyone thought it was the author's fault. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not
the strike. We are nearing the date of... Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what...
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing.
Is she talking about...
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind.
The Pillar of Silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but unfortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say...
The girl on the ice?
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still...
I knew it wasn't a good idea to...
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Your reading is interrupted by the sound. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Понятно.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Ну ладно.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks.
We should talk to her. After...
Она Тиаго-то замечала этого, нет? Ой, бегать могут. Возможно, только тут.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. This is Her innocence, Dolores Day, cradled in her arms, are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you as that bitter thought passes through your head. The lieutenant draws an X-shaped good call. She left us all in the shits. Don't give her a single thing. Just stand there, and that serves her right. She only cares about her sovereign's orb and her silk robes and get into the aerodrome on time. To leave.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Mars. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's farm.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago, where only...
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. We have already found the instigator. I'm not sure what else we could want from here.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of the...
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in our... It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean... Yes, we all are. I have no idea what you mean by that. We've been standing here long enough.
Так, давайте сохранимся.
The mother of humanism stands above you. It's a mystery. A mystery sprinkled with...
Так, 83% провалены, да? Что-то это не очень...
The mother of humanism stands above you. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts the highest category of historic individual, an embodiment more. An innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the end. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only, no, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent, many things, you know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Sere. Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. She made the most of her position in the anti-DeLorean court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the... She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time. It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, she was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history, the DeLorean era. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with... Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the... That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt. Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider the Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier, but little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, this subtle terror is part...
Lieutenant Freighter, You've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
Даже не знаю, что
Okay.
сказать.
It's just that you've been looking at this church, the coast in general. We shouldn't linger
Оу,
here.
я не все
This
там
isn't
это
a good
узнал.
place to get lost in.
Ты чего? Ладно, подожди.
Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers. You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die. So very, very, very nifty. The mother of humanism stands above you. Why? That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else? I don't know. What are we thinking of? The mother of humanism towers above you. A wax painting on the cracked paper. The shards glimmer in the...
Так, загрузимся. Сейчас все сделаем.
The mother of why? That does seem to be... I don't know. The mother of humanism towers above you. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you. A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text. Below both women, in luminous black letters, I pray. And then, along the left side, I pray after life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery.
Death, life again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan: justice, union, prudence, and force. Ice cool.
Unknown. A motor carriage. A gunshot. Someone falling into... The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden right at small figures of wise men, common men. Worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet.
Death, this exaltation is common. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also justice, union, prudence, and force. Not at all.
The mother of humanism.
Хорошо. Так, ну знаете что, давайте мы поговорим позже уже с ней. Что же, всем пока.